This fits with Job 38:7, which shows that intelligent beings existed prior to the Genesis creation. With this background, we will now see why the nearby throne has special relevance to the Genesis six-day creation. To us, the logical conclusion is that God deliberately created the universe so as to reveal that His throne, the great command center of the universe, is located so astronomically nearby that it could be within our own Milky Way galaxy. On this basis, we here on planet Earth are definitely in a privileged position in the universe. It is reasonable that Earth should occupy a special place in the cosmos because the Creator Himself lived here for over 30 years. We thus believe God is now using the heavens to confront humanity with astronomical proof that He is the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Moreover, this view exactly fits with our earlier scientific discoveries of Earth's rapid creation and young age, as shown in our earlier videos titled Fingerprints of Creation and the Young Age of the Earth, and my book, Creation's Tiny Mystery. More information on these resources is available at halos.com and orionfdn.org. The scientific community was informed of the downfall of the Big Bang, the discovery of the center of the universe, and its identification with the Great White Throne, plus many other features of the universe in this poster we presented at the April 2005 American Physical Society meeting in Tampa.
We have already discussed the meaning of a number of its graphics. It can be viewed in its entirety at this APS website.
Along with this, it's fascinating to think about what we would find if we were to travel to the throne itself. So let's take a trip there right now through the magic of computer animation. And as we prepare to leave Earth's orbit, we see the night sky coming into view with its millions of city lights far below. The sun blazes into view along with the constellation of Orion, and we begin to accelerate, passing our sun at 10 times the speed of light. Years ago, I suggested in a scientific publication that the Orion Nebula was the space corridor to the throne, and now as we approach the stars making up the constellation, each one a different distance from Earth, we're going over 1 million times the speed of light. As the stars of Orion pass behind us, the Orion Nebula, 1,500 light years away from Earth, looms larger and larger as we begin our deceleration. This nebula is a vast cloud of rarefied gases and dust 100 light years across. It is illuminated and being boiled away by this handful of very bright and very hot blue-white giant stars called the trapezium. Hundreds of smaller sun-like stars form a cluster around them. As we pass through the cloud and emerge on the other side, we see heaven itself and the throne of God described in Revelation 21:16 as being a glorious city, 350 miles square. Verses 19 and 20 tell us its foundation is made of 12 layers of precious gemstones and surrounded by a 250-foot high wall containing 12 gates, 3 on each side. As we enter through one of the huge pearl gates described in verse 21, we see within the city, on top of its huge mountain, spoken of in Isaiah 14:13 and Revelation 14:1, the indescribably glorious and holy throne room of God pictured in Revelation 4. We reverently enter and approach closer to His throne, and there before us, according to Hebrews 8:1 through 6 and Revelation 11:19, is the same fourth commandment of the 10 given to Moses on Mount Sinai, which tells us of God creating the visible universe in 6 days and resting on the seventh-day Sabbath. Jesus tells us in Matthew 5:18 that it has never been changed and that He is there now representing us before God. The fact that God created the universe to specially point to His throne and His seventh-day creation commandment tells us it is just as valid now as when given in Eden.
It will be of spectacular importance as the end-time events continue to unfold before us. How could it be otherwise when we see the first angel of the three in Revelation 14 commanding with a loud voice in verses 6 and 7, "For everyone to worship Him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters."
We believe the timing of this discovery, that the universe really does have a nearby center, may mean God arranged all this to come to world attention before the greatest and most spectacular event of all time,
the second coming of Christ in the clouds of heaven. As you can see, He is at the throne, ministering as our great high priest as described in the book of Hebrews. But very soon He will return. Retracing our steps now, Jesus comes out of the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary on His way back to the earth. The angels surround Him, forming a vast cloud like the one described in Acts 1 verse 9 that the disciples saw when Jesus was taken back to His throne at His ascension from earth 2,000 years ago. And just like Revelation 1 verse 7 says, as He enters the solar system, every person on earth will be able to see Him approach, at first like a dark storm cloud, growing larger and brighter, until, according to Revelation 6 verse 14, the atmosphere rips apart, and suddenly, there He is. His brightness, like pure energy, consumes all who turned against Him and rebelled. Yet we who are waiting for Him will He save from that destruction. That's what it's all about. The Lord is trying to help us prepare for this great and glorious event.
Lastly, believing as we do that God intends to use the great works of creation presented in this program, as well as the saga behind these discoveries, to awaken a great many to a sure realization that Christ's second coming is imminent, we urge one and all to join us in a worldwide effort to spread this good news so that it will go as fire in the stubble. Thank you for watching, and may the God of creation bless you. To order this video, call 1-800-467-6380 or visit our website, halos.com.
Hello, I'm Don McIntosh. We're glad that you joined us for this special presentation by Drs. Bob and David Gentry, and we're going to take a closer look at that presentation. We're in the studio with Dr. Gentry right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the presentation, hopefully looking a little more in depth so we can understand more fully what we've just heard, and hopefully I'm going to represent you and ask some questions that you would have asked if you were sitting where I am. So you're going to lead us through that. This presentation was focusing mostly on the Big Bang Theory and